Hey there, everyone. It's my first Facebook Live for the year, and I hope everyone had a really good break over the Christmas New Year period and really got some time to really feel renewed and refreshed, whatever that means to you. And for myself personally, I got to take off a couple of weeks and go down to Woodford Folk Festival and a retreat on the Gold Coast hinterland, and then a couple of days on the Byron Bay hinterland at a health retreat centre, and that was very, very beneficial. And so really what I wanted to talk about today is a little bit of a subtle topic, and that topic is how to not abandon yourself on the chronic health journey. Now, what do I mean by that, firstly? And really what I mean is that when a human being experiences a certain amount of trauma in their life, it is possible to, I guess, to start despising yourself in some way through the process, or another way of putting it is to at least lose your self-love. And that's one of the deepest and most profound effects, you could say, of having a lot of trauma in your life. And being chronically ill is certainly a very, very strong form of trauma. And therefore, what can happen in some cases is that people can abandon themselves. So an example of this is, let's say you've had a number of different health breakdowns through the years. What can happen is you can start to believe at a subtle level that you're fundamentally defective, or that you're not worthy of your own love. And energetically, this means that instead of being with yourself in terms of your own presence and your own energy, you can subtly disassociate from yourself. And I'm referring to that as abandoning yourself. And this has a very profound effect, because ultimately it means that you're not integrating the experience fully or properly. And therefore, the growth and the integration and really just the progress on your health journey is not going to be as speedy. And so one thing to ask yourself is, have I abandoned myself through this health journey that I've been on? And do I need to give myself some more presence? And you could say that that presence is really the opposite of abandonment. So if you have experienced a significant amount of abandonment in your life, whether it be from others, such as parents or caregivers, or even other medical practitioners or health practitioners, then it may be that you're in need of having some presence. And so if you've abandoned yourself to a certain degree in your own life, you may be starving for your own presence. And so one part of this is to actually touch base with your inner child, and really at whichever age you were really needing some extra presence, and to really connect with that part of yourself now. So for instance, if it was around age 5 where you had significant traumas in your life, or you had a certain amount of abandonment in your life, then just finding yourself at that age within yourself. So for instance, picturing yourself in a familiar surroundings from your childhood can be very, very useful. And just giving yourself the presence that you really, really needed. at that time is a very, very healing thing. And just watch yourself if there's a tendency to disassociate or to jump out of your body when you remember some of the trauma that you experienced. And this is a very normal kind of response to trauma, to disassociate or to jump out of the body to a certain degree. But I want you to just try to bring yourself back to the body a little bit. And some words that can be helpful now at this point can be to say, I am totally here with you now. When you're connecting to this trauma or these difficulties that you experienced, at whatever age it may be. It may even be at a time in your adult life. And really just give that presence to yourself for as long as it's needed. And also ask your inner child or ask your younger self, what do they really need right now? And see if you can tune into that. And sometimes you'll find that really your younger self was just really in need of having the presence of an adult self there to really nurture and look after them. And sometimes when that presence is given, sometimes a little bit of physical contact is needed, and sometimes imagining yourself just squeezing their hands really tightly can be really beneficial, just to assert the point that you're really here and you're really a strong adult presence there to soothe and really help that younger self to deal with whatever trauma or difficulties they've experienced. And keep doing that. Sometimes you'll find that your younger self will need to play for a little while, but they still want you to be there watching and giving that presence while they're doing that. Or sometimes they just really need to rest because they just haven't been able to rest because of the agitation of not feeling cared for, the agitation of just not feeling totally safe. And therefore, it's possible you may not have had real rest for years as a result of this. So I invite you to try this exercise out and let me know how you went with this. And often you'll need to stay with it for 5 or 10 minutes. And then after some time, give your younger self the impression that even though you're going to go off now for a little while, you're going to keep checking back in with them, and you're going to make sure that they stay protected. So please comment below what your experiences are after trying out this exercise. Some people have found this to be actually quite profound, and so I'm really interested to hear what you guys come up with trying this. And then the question I want you to perhaps journal about or think about is, in which way have I abandoned myself in my life up till now? And how can I bring more presence into my life so that I can really heal deeper on all levels? So I look forward to your comments below, guys, and I'll chime in where I have thoughts or comments as appropriate. So I hope this video has been helpful, and I look forward to interacting with you guys below. Thank you, and bye for now.